Shouldn't the old sperms be discarded to get new ones? We will go over this in this video, explaining the significance of semen and what truly happens during the maturing process of this seminal energy. So, many people think nowadays that old sperms in body get either consumed or thrown out and new sperms are generated. So they feel, anyways, by masturbating, they can throw the sperms and semen out and do the body's natural process by themselves artificially and enjoy it too. So it's this concept of, while the body's getting rid of the sperm, I might as well just masturbate and let it out anyways. This concept of having your cake and eating it too, which is definitely not the case, okay? While it is true that new sperms are generated in the body and that the old sperms are kind of consumed by the body, but there are vital aspects to be understood as well. First, old or matured sperms are not thrown or exactly consumed by the body, but rather converted into various physical and mental energies into the body. So think of when you digest food, it turns into calories. This calories turns into ATP or energy for us to use. The same thing is happening when the semen matures. It starts to convert into various different forms of energy, physically and mentally. Therefore, you should not ever try throwing this out pointlessly, because this seminal energy is very, very potent, and the longer it matures, the more impactful it will have on you physically and mentally. These converted energies keep strengthening the mind and body with every cycle of semen and sperm generation, provided it is not ejaculated. Remember, guys, it takes about 40 days for it to truly mature, and to continuously mature, it needs to constantly go on this cycle. The ability of white blood cells that are known to provide the resistance and defense power against all ill bacteria, diseases, etc., also comes from these converted, matured sperm cells. So some key white blood cells, lymphocytes, monocytes, neutrophils, all these different white blood cells are converted from very, very mature sperm cells these mature sperm cells, they want you to become the greatest you can be. It wants you to become the greatest version of yourself, the greatest man you can be, because it wants to repopulate so greatly. This libido driving in you, it wants to repopulate, so your skin will grow. You will grow a thicker beard. Your hair will grow thicker. You will just grow in so many different ways, because your body wants to signify that it has this seminal energy around you. You have this auric energy. And even besides the external glow you get, interior, we see how these white blood cells, they will go to death for you. They literally love you. These white blood cells will do anything to make sure nothing causes harm in your interior. These matured sperm cells want to continue your existence because it believes it needs to give this nourishment to the cosmos. It wants to have a child. This sperm is very, very intelligent. It is in its own an intelligence. Intelligence is really in deriving from this small, like zygote like structure. This little seminal vessel has so much intelligence, DNA, knowledge within it, that it's unfathomable to understand how powerful it truly is when matured. Sperms have just two deep and detailed functions to be carried, transported, and completed within the body itself that cannot be understood as easily. Sperms are like power generation plants that generates and distributes electricity or power everywhere. It is not meant to just let go out of the body. Sperms have vital energies not yet identified. This life force, this virya, this sperm, is so potent. It is a generator of energy. Everything in this cosmos is energy and light. The sperm, in the same essence, is a form of light fractal energy that is intelligent. It's strictly intelligence because it is a memory of who you are being embedded to the next. It is a memory of a piece of yourself going on to the next life. Therefore, it is immense. That's why when this liquid is acting like a gas and you're maintaining this for so long, you allow this liquid to climb up your spine, and this Oja Shakti that arises from the third eye, it's immense. The power is immense. It's like you are an oscillator of electric energy. You will realize you are a conductor. And to make this conductor rise, it is maintaining the breath and vidya within a man. The simple fact that each spermatozoon has capability to generate a human being speaks of its great vitality. Each sperm can create an individual, and each individual is unique. Only one sperm generally reaches the female egg, denoting it is the chosen one. So the reason you're here today is because you won the race, the great race of the sperm fertilizing the egg, creating the zygote, and the cycle of the cells multiplying over times within that 270-day period or 9 months to have a child. The essence of godhood, man and woman coming together, creating life, is godhood. This, we have to understand how potent that is. Each single drop of spermatozoon creates a human. That is very vital. There has to be a lot of energy in there. There has to be a lot of memory embedded in there. There has to be a lot of power that can be manifested from this energy. Therefore, some people even believe that sperms keep growing from millions to billions to trillions to zillions, and thus then growing the size of the testicles. That's quite an incorrect guesswork, because this belief nowhere includes the recycling of matured sperms within the body. Recycling of sperms automatically helps maintain the maximum possible count of sperms and testicles. Recycling of matured sperms and generation of new sperms is like continuous. So no, you're not ever going to explode. You're not going to ever just completely bust open because you're overflowing in semen. That's not going to happen. Your body naturally is a generator, a destroyer, and it has order. For the semen, it has that same process. When it matures after a 40 to 80 day period, it uses this in various different ways throughout your body. Maybe nourishing different aspects you're weak in, strengthening the auric field around you, strengthening your white blood cells, increasing your intelligence, your memory, your ability to stay focused for longer periods of time. Your creativity will open up as your corpus callosum in your left and right hemisphere are now feeling more intertwined. You will feel more emotional. Your chakras are now more intertwined. This recycling of sperms is a very, very potent and powerful process, right? It's a continuous process, and we'll continue to explain how. So, if a person masturbates, he ejaculates sperms that needed to be instead of recycled within the body. The new sperms that are generated can't recycle until matured as per its cycle, as the earlier sperms got ejaculated rather than recycled, so the body's natural energy enrichment gets postponed by 40 days with every such masturbation. So the more frequency you do without allowing the sperms to regenerate, you are not allowing yourself to reach equilibrium. This is only you digging yourself in a deeper hole because the semen has not regenerated. It has not allowed to regenerate, right? This is why it is so hard to build this up, but it's so easy to lose at the same time. It's so easy to go broke, but it's so hard to get rich. It's the same process, right? It's so hard to build this life force up, the libido, the drive, the lust that comes with the 7 deadly sins that you're going to have to face, rising over your reptilian brain, rising over your animalistic desires. This is going to be a difficult path. Now, this gets us into the story of how Jesus survived, or Yeshua, the Messiah, has survived 40 days. This story of the 40 days also depicts this 40-day generation period of temptations, of a period of where you need to allow yourself to grow. Just take 40 days. For someone who's never practiced semen retention, go 40 days. Just go 40 days just to see the changes physically, the changes aurically, the changes spiritually, the way you perceive life. Everything will completely change. So you should understand that wasting this vital force is very, very harmful to you. It is selfish in the long run. It is selfish. You are displaying high signs of selfishness when you do this. Because not only are you destroying your body, you're destroying matured cells that want to help you grow in many different facets, but you're being selfish to your future lover. This is essentially who you're going to be selfish to in the long run. It is a known fact that our body cells keep dying and new cells keep generating. And it is also known that our body has no way to throw the dead cells out of the body. So the dead cells break down into different components and recycled within the body. Recycling and formation of new, useful substance is a natural for each cell of the body. Same thing happens with the semen. This is just a direct tangent with the semen to understand that nothing ever goes to waste in this cosmos. Everything is from the cosmos, goes directly to the cosmos, and is a direct factor of the cosmos. Every element you see, every thought you see, nothing is anything or anyone's direct work. It was a direct work or a direct process or use of the gifts and elements of the cosmos around us. So understanding this notion that nothing ever goes to waste and everything is used will help you understand your vital life essence. Nature has not provided any organ or mechanism to throw away dead cells. Dead cells are used by the body in different ways, like help in internal processes and functions, provide necessary nutrition to different body parts, etc. Semen and sperms are also supposed to be recycled and not artificially discarded out of the body. So the same process is to be happen with the semen. After this 40-day generation, 80-day generation, 120-day generation, 160-day generation, 200-day generation, it needs to keep maturing so you could keep building up in different facets and whatever, right? That's why whenever we see any spiritual figure, we see the glow around their crown, we see the glow, we see serpents depicted. It's often because they overcame their animalistic desires. The reason why we see Shiva sitting on a tiger is because he overcame his animalistic desires. And it is said that Shiva never spilled his semen. So therefore, this allowed him to open his third eye. We have to recognize this is not just about opening third eye or receiving the magnificent powers that come from opening third eye. It's about the spiritual journey that comes with it. It's not about receiving any powers, receiving anything. It's about you becoming closer with the Creator with every step. This is the ultimate journey. Your journey with seeing how the Creator created everything through you, because you as a person are a minute microcosm within this massive macrocosm. We are a reflection of nature. Everything that happens in nature is a reflection in us as well. It's embedded in us in many, many different facets. Modern science is yet to research on the beneficial effect of live or dead spermatozoa in the body as to what do they give. Stored semen and sperms have vital functions to carry. So many modern scientists And the reason about this, about modern science, is it's not necessarily looking to benefit, help, or create. It's more or less modern science or modern pharmacology or modern pharma is looking to create a customer rather than a healed individual. It's looking to create a consumer. So, am I shocked that there's no research on this? Not really. Is there research that's probably covered up? More than likely. Everything in the universe is simply recycled and reused. There's nothing for free that can be wasted. Wastage only adds to the cost, efforts, problems, and time, because what has been wasted has to be somehow recovered to bring back the balance and the perfect state. Reading this and saying this out loud, we should understand that once you lose this energy, it is lost. And you could only try to build it up again to get you back to a perfect state from which you altered because you succumb to your animalistic desires over and over and over again. Once a person loses semen, he loses that much of all forms of resistance and defensive capabilities, like we mentioned earlier. You have a auric field around you when you are not masturbating or losing the sexual energy. You have a nice gold auric energy around you, protecting you, not only internally from sickness and diseases, but from external energies and just bouncing off and always falling on your feet. You lose this auric field. He would start weakening all his body parts. It doesn't make any sense in saying that younger semen and sperm cells are better than old. It's the older and matured cells that provide all the needed energies. When a person is in his youth, he already has long stored energies from many years. So even after much masturbation, the person may not realize the losses of energy within him, but as he grows older in age, even a single masturbation in a month can make him giddy and strengthless. The reason is usually due to a lot of ejaculations in earlier years, making him lose his physical powers and all forms of defense mechanisms quickly. Therefore, guys, this vigor you build up at a young age, from the youth up until when you start actually getting your strong libido, you start realizing things of the world and you become worldly. This buildup you have is all matured semen. It's all matured over time to build you up to who you become, right? So you have to understand how vital this life force is. After the minimum required strength is acquired by a body since birth, the age of puberty, and so erection starts from about 11 to 12 years on, and average in the current times. But semen doesn't just appear from nowhere, suddenly at the age of puberty. It was always there getting developed, stored, recycled, etc. within the body since birth. And that's what was giving and increasing the physical and mental strengths in the kid. This is the fountain of youth. This is your fountain of youth. The more you deplete, the more you age. The more you deplete, the more you die inside. To remain in this fountain of youth, you have to retain. So it's not the new semen cells that provide the strength, but it's the older ones after recycling giving all the strengths. New cells need to be retained to become older to continue the recycling process and to continue the creation, provision, and dispersion of energies in the body. Surprisingly, many people nowadays say that older semen and sperms is useless, which is such a very fictitious thing to say, such a ignorant thing to say, because people don't understand the things that they don't see. People still don't understand the things they see in general, but they don't understand the life or the energies of the things we don't see. Sperm acts in the same way. Now, while you may see the physical emanation of the sperm when it's ejaculated, you don't see what's happening with the sperm when it's in your interior. It's acting as an auric ray of light, fueling your entire body in this ray of light, this vapor of sexual energy is now glowing on your skin. We explained in a previous video how it's emitting light. So people who normally have darker faces or normally have dirt on their face, etc., this light shines so bright, the semen retention glow shines so bright that you're going to glow. You won't look like, you would look so bright compared to your normal self because of this natural glow. So understanding how mature semens are the quintessence of everything in this cosmos, every great action, every great discovery, innovation has all come from someone who was using matured semens. Matured semens are innovative, they're creative, they're using both hemispheres of the brain. This is also known as enlightenment. So we have to realize how potent this sexual vapor truly is. So, with that being said, guys, we went over it. Shouldn't the old sperms be discarded to get new ones? The importance of maturity of the semens. So feel free to like the video.